Today, we will look into pivot by and group by functions, which are recently introduced by Microsoft. If these functions are not available in your MS Excel, they will be available soon. Meanwhile, if you want to get access to preview features, you can view our YouTube video on how to enable preview and beta features. Moving on, let's discuss the group by function first. We have this data in Excel, which contains the breakup of sales data, by sales personnel, belonging to 3 different teams. Previously, if we wanted to summarize sales by teams only, we could do it either by using a formula such as SUMIFS, or a pivot table. Our result would have been something like this. However, now we have another option as well. Now you can use group by function to do the same. Enter the group by function, and in the parameters, provide the required information. The first thing that we need to provide is the row fields, which in our case is the team column. Then we need to provide the values range, which is the sales column. Then we need to tell the function how to aggregate the values, which in our case is sum. Other parameters are optional. This table is produced by the group by function, with same results. We can also include headers in this table, by selecting 3, in the next optional parameter, which says yes and show. Next parameter is used to display subtotals and grand totals. Sorting parameter allows you to sort data, in ascending or descending order. Use column number in positive for ascending, and in negative for descending. The filter parameter is a bit tricky. The best way to use this parameter is to create a filter column with true or false. True means the row or value is included in the group by table. In the filter parameter, refer to this range of Boolean values you just created. Nothing changes, since all true means all data is included. Let's exclude the first row, by changing true to false. Our values have changed, and most probably, the first value is now excluded. As evident from our reconciliation. We can also summarize data with multiple columns, using the group by function. For example, let's add another column, with random values. Now, let's modify our group by function, and include this column, to the values parameter as well. Now our table shows both sales and costs are also filtered by the filter parameter. We can remove the filter, to include all values again. And this is how the group by function is used in Excel. Now, let's move on and discuss the pivot by function. Let's enter the pivot by function, in an empty cell. The first parameter allows you to select a range as row headers, for which we will select the team members. The second parameter allows you to select a range as column headers, for which we will select the team column. We will select sales, as values, aggregated by sum function. Let's leave the option parameters for now, and see the result. And this is the pivot table we just created, using the pivot by function. Field header parameter can be used to generate, show or hide the column header field name, which in our case, is team. The next parameter allows us to display and hide the totals. By default grand totals are displayed, which we can choose to hide as well. We can use column number in positive to sort in ascending order, and in negative to sort in descending order. 1 mean row headers, and 2 means grand totals. 3 will cause error in current pivot table. Again, -1 will sort data by the first column in descending order, and simple 1 will sort in ascending order. You can use the next parameter to show or hide the column totals. By default grand totals are displayed, which you can choose to hide here. Column sort order also uses column number in positive or negative, for ascending or descending order. As being demonstrated, entering 1 sorts column headers in ascending order, and -1 sorts data in descending order. Let's sort the data by column headers in ascending order, by entering 1 in the parameter. Finally, we can use the filter parameter, to include or exclude data. For example, let's exclude Sarah's data from the tables, using the filter parameter. We will just change the true before Sarah, to false. And as soon as we change it to false, the data will disappear from the pivot table. As you can see, now there is no person named Sarah in the list of members. You can also add multiple value fields, by adding ranges to the values parameter. Just as now we have both sales and costs, as values in our pivot table. And this concludes our today's tutorial. These functions are very powerful, and handy, especially for advanced users. Now, using these functions, you can generate and modify pivot tables dynamically. Thanks for watching. We hope you liked our tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful tutorials and updates.